Okay. Let's view the report. Let's see where you guys are at. Later. Okay, 97 completion rate, 37% accuracy. So the questions are a little harder. We're going to go over everything. You, as a student, you want your teacher to use data. You want your driving coach to use data. You want your college coach, a high school coach to use data. Okay, so we're using data to see I don't care how many, who's at the top, who's at the bottom. I want to know what questions you missed. So let's go ahead and look at the questions. Okay, in an area around a vehicle that cannot be viewed with the use of your mirrors is called the blind spot. Okay, so you need to know what a blind spot is. There are four blind spots. There's one in front of the car, there's one to the left, one to the right, and behind. I mentioned I was driving new drivers that I haven't driven before on the expressway. It was in the rain. They were scared to look over their shoulder and merge out onto the expressway. They would have lost a point on their road test. And hey, E, how are you? Thank you for supporting. You're freaking awesome. They would have lost a point on their road test, and more dangerously, they could have got hit by a truck or a car. So it's important that you check your blind spots. You do it by quickly looking over your shoulder. The maximum speed on a two-lane road is about 50 miles an hour. Two-lane roads can be dangerous. You're going to want to go too fast. You're going to want to go too slow. Yesterday, we talked about why U.S. speed limits are wrong. Cars get faster, cars get bigger. I think it's important that even though the speed limit says a certain speed, what is the time of day? Is it raining? Is it rush hour? Is it night? Are you tired? What type of car are you driving? The maximum speed in the school zone for this particular one is 20. You know, it's not pretty much over 25. It could be 20, it could be 15. We know states can, thank you, Jackson. Both of you, Jackson and E, both of you two are my favorite supporters, like real talk. Without you, I would not be here. So I want to say thank you. I think it's important that you understand that the speed limit is there set for you to be safe. The maximum speed limit on a divided highway with four more lanes is around 55 miles an hour. But again, Texas could be different than Nebraska. Okay, New York could be different than Michigan. Florida could be different than Washington. And you're going to be driving different places around the country. And in Canada, the safest way to turn your vehicle around, and we talked about this yesterday, it could be driving around the block. You might say, man, that takes too much time. But what if there's a lot of traffic? What if you can't get over? Sometimes backing into a driveway to the right might not be the safest option. Sometimes you can't make a U-turn. It's illegal and it's dangerous. And then a three-point turn may not be the best thing. So you want to look at the safest option. Again, I did not make this, but I'm giving you real life situations because I need you guys to be safe. And if something happens to you, I would be upset. Just before beginning any lane maneuver, you want to check to see that there's no obstructions. Check your inside mirror. Check your outside mirrors. Look over your shoulder. It's a truck coming up real fast. It's a car cutting in and out of the lanes. You will get this information once you get used to checking your mirrors. A lot of beginners don't even check their mirrors, and we make a lane change hoping that we're going to be okay. And sometimes you get into an accident. A stationary object that appears in the distance in the corner of your path to travel is called a target. So when you're driving, you're going to learn to see different angles going around a curve, maybe going into a roundabout. You've got to learn to look to see who's in there. Is it a bigger truck? Is it a smaller truck? Is it a fast car, slow car? Is it an older driver? Is it a younger driver? You will get that evidence to make a good decision. Right now, all of you are just learning how to drive. You're happy to be in the car, and I'm happy for you, right? I'm happy for you, but we got to go beyond just being happy in the car because this is 2025, and there's more road rage. There are more people driving bigger semi-trucks. There are more people learning how to ride motorcycles. People are very careless and abrupt. They don't care, and usually you drive 10 under the limit. So Blake, that makes us a target. Anna, that makes us a target. Leo, that makes us a target. Not because you're learning, but because you drive slow. And if you drive slow, people are going to panic. Oh my God, I almost hit them. Oh, it's a student driver. And then they try to get out of our way and they can't. And then they're tailgating us. So you have to learn to keep up with the flow of the traffic. Steering your car into an intended path to travel is called tracking. Okay, a little different term. You want to track, you want to steer. A lot of beginning drivers steer too wide. You go to the left. You could side swap a car. A lot of beginning drivers steer too short. I had a driver on her second drive today. She almost hit the curb. I had to turn the wheel slightly to the left. No cap on her. No hate. I didn't take her female sensitivity. I just wanted to protect the car. All of you learning how to drive, we're going to be making those tight right turns, tight left turns. You're going to learn how to drive. And Leo, if you want to learn how to drive, I'm going to make you work. Okay, Blake, if you want to learn how to drive, and Blake can drive, by the way, I'm going to make Blake better. I want to make him one of the best in the class. But I'm going to challenge all of you to get better every single day. Let's keep going. Using perpendicular parking to park. This is at the right angle of the curb. We do downtown parking, stall parking. Hey, let's go to this high school. Park in 5 spots. Okay, next person, get in. Park in 5 spots. I had these students parallel park today. On the third parallel park, they lined up, reverse back, turn the wheel all to right, boom, done. You have to work at this if you want to be good drivers. And I talk to your parents all the time because most of them do care. I'm a parent too. And if someone is teaching my son or daughter, I want to know who you are. I want to know what you do. And I want to know where you're taking my son or daughter. Okay. I met a dad today, very happy, very excited. His daughter was very nervous. She was going on the expressway. It was raining. I already knew what was going to happen. She was going to be gripping this wheel. And I had to get her to relax. She did okay. Not perfect, but okay. If you are starting your vehicle and the engine has stalled, meaning your car has cut off, it pauses for a second. You might have to shift it to neutral. Once upon a time when kids were driving on the expressway, I would put the car in neutral and cut the power off. It's like a power failure. The steering gets really hard, the car stalls out, and I would say, okay, you're in emergency maneuver. What do you need to do? Okay, I start the car up, and then I put it in drive, and the car starts moving. Okay, your car will shut off when you're driving. The steering will be hard. That's an emergency situation. You have to know how to handle this. For a right turn, start turning the wheel when the front of the wheels are even with the curb. Please make sure you write this down. A lot of beginners turn too short. You're going to go over the front of the curb and hit a pole. A lot of beginners turn too late. You're going to overload the left front tire and you're going to slide into the left lane. I'll say it again. Write it down. For a right turn, start turning the steering wheel when the front wheels are even with the curb. It's really important we learn how to steer. We go over to different high schools doing figure eights. We go in neighborhoods making right turns, 12 right turns, 12 left turns. Are you looking where you're going? Some of you don't. Vision in your turn. I'm setting the expectation very high. I want some of your parents to sit in the car. I want them to see what I'm doing. I want them to know that you're being taught at the very best of my ability. And when it's time for me to go on to do something else, I'll go on to do something else. You can see engine revolutions per minute by checking your tachometer. You need to understand your dashboard, your fuel gauge. That tells you how much fuel. If you're at a half, you have a half a tank. If you're at F, you're full. You need to stop and get gas at a fourth of a tank. A lot of beginners don't have money, okay? And your money will be digital, okay? You should be able to see this. You always should have cash with you. Your debit or credit card won't work, okay? Many of you should put $20 or $30 in your phone case. So in case I got money, I'm good. You don't want to get caught without gas. You don't want to get caught if your car breaks down. So the tachometer tells you how many revolutions per minute your motor. So what does that mean? If you're driving on an expressway, you should be spending about 2,800, 1,800 Most cars have an overdrive transmission. The Ford F-150s have a 10-speed transmission. They get better fuel economy. They're spinning at a lower RPM. Some cars have a 6-speed transmission. My SRT Jeep that I used to have had an 8-speed transmission. I had a snow mode. When it was snowing, it would use second, third, and fourth gear so the tires don't spin. Okay? So you need to know what a tachometer is. If you need me to show you a picture, I will. When leaving the car from the street side, walk around the rear of the car. You never want to turn your back to oncoming traffic because people will hit you. Oh, I didn't see you. You have a black hoodie on. I didn't see you. So assume people don't see you. It's really important. We don't want to go to your funerals, but the odds are within the next 3 to 5 years, we will, because you're young drivers. Your brain is developing until your age 24. It takes 10 years. Some of you are 15, that's 25. Some of you are 16, that's 26. Some of you are 17, that's 27. It takes 10 years to become a master, 5 years to become intermediate. So you've got to get out and drive in the snow, the rain, the fog, crappy weather. Okay, you have to. And if your parents are scared, you won't learn. The law says that you must drive at a speed that is safe for the existing conditions on the road. It's called the basic speed law. You can get a ticket for driving the speed limit in the rain, in the snow, in the fog. A lot of beginners don't know that. Then when you get a ticket, you want to cry. Oh, I didn't know that. Ignorance is no excuse. The maximum speed in a DE route, you might not know what a DE route is, but it's a route. It's about 65, okay? So if you're traveling to a different state, Google it. What are the speed limit laws? What do I do? If you really want to be prepared, some of you will do a great job. Some of you don't care. A turnabout maneuver is risky because you cross or back into one or more lanes of traffic. That's an advanced maneuver. I might have Blake do this. Blake, I'm shouting you out. Blake, I might have Blake do this because he's more advanced. He's more relaxed. Okay, I might have Emily do this. She's really starting to show confidence. I want you to feel confident in the car. It takes 5 or 10 minutes. That's why when my driver was on the expressway, I just let her struggle a little bit. Going too slow, going too fast, hugging the left, hugging the right. But after about 10 minutes, you relax, you keep that car straight. I'm smiling, you're smiling, we're feeling good. Next, which of the following statements gives the best understanding of braking? They're asking you to look at these statements. Brake, stop the car. That is true. Brake lights are illuminated when you press hard on the brake. That's not true. You can just lightly touch the brakes will light up. The braking point is the point. So now they want the best question. The pedal pressure should be gradual. I always tell you this. Wear thin sole shoes. Don't wear hard Nikes, no cap, no hate. Don't wear old thick shoes, no cap, no hate. Wear a thin sole shoe. From what I've seen, Converse seems to do that. Crocs are okay. Don't wear open toe sandals. So if you're slamming the brake, I'm going to say, listen, you didn't listen to what I'm saying. I want you to have a good experience. Next, backing a vehicle requires skillful use of brake pedal. Cover the brake. We don't want you to hit the gas because you're going to hit a car. I will have you backing in the spots. If you want to be better than my last class, you got to do more parking. If you want to be better than my last class, we got to go on expressway more. If you want to be better than my last class, you got to go through roundabouts. If you want to be better than my last class, you have to do well on these quizzes. I need you to be better than my last class. The maximum speed in a business or residential area is 25. That's in your study guide. 19 of you got that right. So that's really important. But 25 might be too fast. Little kids are playing. It's raining. It's getting dark. Slow down. You're in a downtown area, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Detroit, Michigan, downtown Los Angeles, California. Slow your roll down. Slow down. Regardless of the hill you park on, you should set the park brake because your car could roll out of gear. Set the park brake. It's really important. If you're parking downhill, turn the front wheels to the right. You put on the park brake. If the car slips out of gear, it will roll into the curb. If you're parking uphill, you turn the front wheels to the left. If the car rolls out of gear, it will roll backwards all the way around. The point in which your brakes begin to work and stop is called the braking point. So you need to know this. And I can tell the driver's ed car is probably going to need some brakes because I'm very sensitive to how the car stops. And we really need a new front tire on the right side because I was confident with my student and we have a heavier, larger car. And it can handle better. It handles really good in the snow, really good in the rain, and you will feel comfortable in a bigger car. Completing a turn requires you to gently accelerate halfway through the turn. A lot of you will slam the gas, slam the brake, and then the car jerks, and then you jerk. So you want to be smooth in the turns. Next, before shifting from park to drive, you should press down on the brake pedal. The car will not go into gear until you press the brake pedal. It's a safety feature. Next, hand over hand steering involves pulling the steering wheel down with the other hand coming across and over. So if you interview your parents, about 80% will do hand over hand steering. Some of your parents drive with one hand. Some of your parents drive with the knee. For your test, you need to have both hands on the wheel. I admire Blake. Blake drives with one hand. I would prefer Blake to use two hands. Blake has good control. Blake is the fourth kid in the family or third kid in the family. Blake, I'm putting you on the pedestal today, Blake. You the big boy. You up at the top, Blake. I got you, Blake. Blake can kind of get away from that, but I'm scared if Blake's hand slips and, oh no, right? I'm scared, but I support Blake. And Blake will listen. He's coachable. Blake wants to get better. Do you want to get better? You don't tell me, you show me in the car when I drive you. Next, making proper turns depends on steering and speed control. Let's talk about Emily for a second. She had a nice first drive. She was going in a little slower, a little faster. Her speed control was off. The steering was on point. So your steering and speed control need to be very similar. Let's talk about making a right turn. You cannot make a right turn at 20 miles an hour. You're going to go in really hard and have to crank that wheel. The rear of the car will spin out. In the wintertime, we've done a complete 360. You're like, really? It's dangerous, bro. Don't do that. Okay? And a lot of cars tailgate us. So you got to go in slow, look and check traffic, and then accelerate out. I really want you to become good drivers. So I need you to type in one thing you learned and one question. All of you need to type in one thing you learned and one question about this so we can move forward. One thing you learned about this information.
Where should we submit that?
Just type it in the chat. Chat should work. I want to make sure. Yes. Type in one thing you learned and then one question. Okay. All of you should be putting in a question. If you really want to learn, you put in a question. Okay. You got two OG instructors here who are going to give you honest information. Okay. Put a Q. One question. I give you an example. We keep it moving. And then what I want to do is show you some other videos. I need to, because more of you are driving. Remember, I drove half of you, and you did pretty good. The other half of you, I don't know you yet. I don't know the car, okay? And I really want you to do a good job. And if you feel comfortable with me, you can say, hey, I'm scared. It's okay, I got you, okay? I can tell when you're scared in the car. The young lady that was driving today on the expressway, she was scared. She kept looking at the speedometer and kept going 10 under. And I saw a semi-truck behind us. I said, please step on the gas. Please look ahead. I didn't tell her speed limit because if I did, she would stare at the speedometer and lose speed. On the curves, she was hugging the left, going out wide, almost about to hit the wall. I had to turn the wheel back slightly, okay? And again, I want you to drive good. All of you may know how to physically drive, but you may not understand the physics, the maneuverability of a car. There's some really tight curves. There's some roundabouts. I'm taking you on all the hard roads. I'm supposed to, because I want you to be good drivers. And once those of you who are driving a week from now or 2 weeks from now, it's okay. But you've got to meet those expectations. And I'll shout out Blake because he did a good job. I'll shout out Emily because she did a good job, because I'm proud of you. I'll shout out Ben because he did a good job. Okay? And I want you to be excited to learn how to drive. I'll shout out Grace because she did a good job. Okay? You got to know how to park. You got to know how to back in a driveway. You have to know what to do at a yellow light. If it's safe and you can stop in 3 seconds, you stop safely. If you can't, you proceed with caution. More cars and trucks run lights. The struggle is real. I don't want to get hit. I want you to do good. I don't want to die. I've had always positive manifestation. We've never gotten hit making a left turn. And I'm praying in my career, we never will, because I don't take chances with you. Because some of you might miss the gas or you might panic. Okay? So we're going to look at some of your questions. I ask you to put questions in. I'm going to keep this quick. I'm going back up to the top. What do you need? What do you need to do the hand over hand? You just turn your hand over hand. Turn and pick up. Turn and pick up. A lot of students make it too hard. They become mechanical. Just turn and pick up. This is why we do the figure eights in a school parking lot. You go in slow, you pick up. Emily was learning how to drive. I know where to take her. Okay? Grace knows how to drive. I know where to take her. Okay? Blake knows how to drive. I know where to take him to make him better. So you got to learn that maneuver to back in a driveway, to parallel park. Now, Blake is good enough. He can turn the wheel really fast in parallel park. But I know that's not the most efficient way, okay? And I just want Blake to be more efficient, okay? Let's keep moving. You do like a half turn, making a left turn. Some left turns are really short and sharp. You've got to do a complete hand over hand to get the car in the nearest lane. A lot of beginners turn too short. You're going to cross the double yellow, hit a car. Now we got to call corporate. Now we got to call an ambulance. Now you failed. So I can show you, and in some cases, we make left turns. I can take you on a route. It's all left turns. Hold on. Let me go there. It's all left turns. Okay. Counterclockwise. I can take you where we can make all left turns. And once you understand, you're like, thank you. I got it. So a left turn feels smooth, accelerating through. A left turn is not jerky, but you're going to make jerky left turns. Will we drive in harsh weather? We had a tornado a few weeks ago and a rainstorm. 2 students canceled, but I had 2 students drive at night. It was a flood on the road. We did okay. It's the summer. We're not expecting any snow, right? You live in the Midwest. You guys are in the summer. You're chilled. Your hard weather will be in the wintertime with your mom and dad. So probably rain. And if it's too dangerous, we won't drive. Remember, I set my schedule up. If the car breaks down or you get sick or I get tired like today, I've been driving since 6:30 this morning. I'm dead, bro. I got a little caffeine drink from a little coffee place. I'm dead tired, but I'm here for you. I helped out another teacher, but I can't work like that every day. It's about stacking money, but it's about mental health too. When parallel parking tight, how do we know? Well, it will fit. First, you want to look at the space. If your car is too big, it's no sense in squeezing it in there. But we go to downtown areas where you really have to master parallel parking. You line up, you reverse back halfway, you turn your wheel all the way to the right. The rear will go in at a 45 angle. Once you're halfway, turn back, you're about 12 inches from the curb. I'm going to have you do it 5 times. The first one, you won't know what to do. The second one, you'll start to understand what to do. The third one, you know what to do. And once I see you do it 5 times, next person, get up here. You have to be able to parallel park. And we're doing more parking. So you're not scared when you go to downtown Chicago, downtown Detroit, downtown Toledo, wherever you go, you got to be able to parallel park. What is breakpoint? Just before lockup. This is why I want you to use the ball. I don't have my shoe down here. Just before the brakes lock up. You squeeze the brake with the ball of your foot. I was taught by my instructor to do the shuffle method. That's okay, Morgan. That's okay. There's more than one way to shoot a three-pointer. There's more than one way to park. For me, most of you learn hand over hand. Now, if you shuffle and you're going around a turn, you really can't turn the car. So at the end of the day, I teach you hand. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to learn from your mom. What does your mama do? What does your daddy do? What do you do on video games? What does your brothers do? What does your sister do? What does your grandma do? Most of them probably turn hand over hand. You don't believe me? Go interview your family. So you have to use a method that is comfortable for you. But if you're parallel parking, the shuffle really can't get you in a tight maneuver. It's just a preference. So I'm intelligent enough to understand that, and I like the question. So I gave you a real educated answer. Do we ever need to use the tachometer? Grace, you're not drag racing right now, girl, but we can put the nitrous on the car and go get some money. That's a great question. Let's pretend the driver's their car stuck in mud. You're going to have to put it in low gear. I'm going to say rev up the motor to 3,000 and put it in low gear so you get more pulling power. Normally, to be honest, I think the transmission could be slipping because the car doesn't sound right. I'm used to the sound of the driver's ed car. It, like when you hit the gas, it jumps. I'm scared the transmission is going to break on us. I don't want to scare you, but I'm speaking truth. So no, Grace, we're not trying to drag race, but sometimes some of you hit the gas, the car shifts really hard to second and third gear, and I'm kind of laughing. And then you're like, whoa. Okay, so when we have the AC on, it puts a load on the engine, and this transmission shifts quick and hard. Okay, a couple of times, low-key guys, I pulled out of my neighborhood, and when the car hits second gear, it breaks tires. I'm like, whoa, man, this driver's ed, the driver's ed car we have, the second and third gear, it pulls fast. Some driver's ed cars are very slow. Some driver's ed cars are fast, and the brakes don't work good. Our car is in the middle. It will be comfortable for most of you. Every driver's ed car is different. So I know when we have to get our car merged, when we have to get our car serviced, Sincere, I see you. When we have to get our car serviced, usually we get a smaller car. I'm a bigger guy. Some of you are taller. You're like, whoa, why is this car so little? Now, some of you are a little shorter. We love you. You'll like it. I like a larger car. So in the wintertime, we're not pushed around. When the road is slick, we have a lower center of gravity. We drive primarily automatic cars. A few driver's ed schools do have manuals. Manuals are slowly dying in our society. Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, trucks, they do have some manuals, but most of our cars in this fleet are automatics. Okay, manuals are more expensive to maintain, replacing the clutch. It adds a little bit more complexity. Now, our brothers and sisters in the UK, India, they drive manuals. That's more popular across the pond. Here in the United States, we're not trying to do that. But your teacher does know how to drive a manual. What's the difference? Okay, we already talked. A manual, you have to manually shift first, push the clutch in, second, push the clutch in, third, push the clutch in, fourth, push the clutch in. Okay, and if you don't have clutch control, the car will buck, okay, and then you'll stall out, and that's really scary. So I do appreciate all of you. We're going to see a couple of videos now. Give me 1 second. Guys, this was a great live. I hope you enjoyed this, and tune in for more later. Watch all my videos, and I want to say thank you.